Hey guys, I'm Reagan. I work in finance.
I'm Jordan. I'm a CPA.
And this is Working Late.
We don't clock out, we just keep going.
So if you are grinding through a long day or a late night, we're here to keep you company and remind you why it's all worth it. So Jordan, what do you have going on this week?
So to be completely transparent, we are, pre-recording a few of these episodes before we get into tax season and, just the craziness of life during the spring. So, it's currently end of December. So, dealing with holiday parties and have Christmas coming up, trying to get all my Christmas presents wrapped and
for sure.
All on top of the normal workload with end of year. So a little stressed, but still feeling very motivated, and honestly very ready for tax season. So
that's good.
Just still getting those projections wrapped up and any last minute payrolls and stuff like that. So what about you?
Yeah, so I'm at my parents' house right now. Not my normal set. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see some family photos. So in this one, I think I was like 15, 16. You can see my braces. And then this one over here is like peak awkward face, 6th grade. So
love that.
Maybe come watch on YouTube so you can check those out. But yeah, I'm at my parents' house to celebrate Christmas right now. And okay, I wanted to ask if you experienced this because we're recording this in the morning, so it's top of mind, but I had another anxiety dream about college last night.
Dang.
And at this point, I feel like we graduated long enough ago that I should not be having these, but I still have them like every few weeks. This one was a little different because it was like I was 26, like I am now, but I had never finished my last semester of college. And so I had to move into a dorm and like go to class every day. And my mom works at a university. So it was the university where she works. Maybe that's why it happened because I'm like close to it right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know when those are going to stop. It's usually like I've been in class all semester and just now realizing I didn't show up for any of the exams and I'm going to fail. But I also have anxiety dreams about work now too. Like I just missed an entire day or an entire week of work and had no idea. Do you get those?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I don't get, I don't know, maybe every once in a while I'll get like an anxiety dream about missing a CPA exam or something like that. I don't know if this is saying maybe I didn't try hard enough in college or what, but I really don't get any of the college anxiety dreams anymore. Okay. Whenever I was in college, I definitely did. But I have cousins who, like, they're in their, like, mid-40s, and they say they still have, like, I missed a final type dream.
Yeah.
Or was late to a final or something like that. And I think Greg still has some of those dreams as well. But trust me, I have plenty of anxiety dreams, just not about that. Not about that. So I have like anxiety dreams about different clients at work. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night like, oh my gosh, I forgot to run a payroll, or missing a huge deadline that's going to cost a client like a lot of money, or their employees didn't get paid on time, like things like that. And Greg says during tax season it's like the worst. Throughout the whole year, tax season is the worst. I'll be talking about W-2s and 1040s and all this stuff. So I sleepwalk. So I'm talking in my sleep, talking about all of this.
That's crazy.
And I know he gets worn out too. Tax season is just like hard in general, but that is a whole nother level. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I also wanted to address real quick, since I'm at my parents' house, don't have my normal setup. I am recording on top of my old Twilight books right now.
Nice.
Which reminds me of us being in college together, because that was like our COVID activity, was watching all of the Twilight movies.
Yeah. No, it was actually, I had kidney surgery.
Oh,
that's what it was. That was our Twilight binge time. And then during COVID, it was Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah. We're movie bingers. We eat truffle salt popcorn. That's just kind of our thing.
Yeah. Those were the days.
I know.
But yeah, you knew me in college. I was stressed all the time about my grades, and I don't even know why I was so hard on myself. But
you know what? I mean, it paid off. You got that GPA. I probably could have had a better GPA, in all honesty. I could have cared a little bit more, but well, we made it. We're fine.
Yeah, you're killing it now, so I don't think it really matters that much.
I was just so ready to get out and just start working, dude. That's where I shine.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, yeah. So what do you have on your desk this week at work? I know it's end of year, but what is that like for you?
Yeah, so just still same as last week. Just really trying to push and get those year-end projections done to help people make Q4 estimated payments either now or in January. And then, yeah, just trying to help my staff get final payroll amounts for those S corp wages. We usually run those once a year, so this is this is once a year. This is that time.
Oh, okay.
So just trying to get those out and yeah, we've already done bonuses and raises and all of that. So, yeah. And now I also need to just make sure my books are up to date for, end of year and getting ready for our own tax return. So,
Wow. I didn't even think about that you would have to do that too, but that makes sense.
yeah, the accountant almost needs an accountant, to be honest. I've outsourced payroll at this point, but I still have to do my own books. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I had a pretty stressful week at work, but I am hoping, so next week is Christmas. I'm hoping that like everybody else is taking PTO, which means that there's nobody online to ask me to do things. So I'm hoping I can have a chill week. I didn't get to leave work until like 6 p.m. last night on Friday.
Dang.
So I didn't get up here to my parents' house until like 11. So I'm really hoping we can just have a nice chill week next week. I think everything major should be done. We're down to just the last few things, but yeah.
Nice. So,
yes.
Quick question. So, since you like work remotely, how long are you going to be staying at your parents'? Like, are you going to stay at your parents through Christmas, or are you going to be working remotely? Like, you're not going to be at home all next week, or what does this kind of season look like for you?
Yeah. I could have brought my stuff with me to work remote. But we have some things happening on Monday night at home, and so we're still just going home on Sunday. But I do sometimes like to come up here on like a Thursday night and work from here on Friday, or like my in-laws, same thing, work from here on Friday and then go home. Usually still Sunday, because it's kind of a lot to drive home on a Monday night and then log on Tuesday morning. But we didn't do that this time just because like my week was so insane last week. Like there was just no way that was going to happen,
Yeah.
So I did come with a quote today, and I think this is something that we both feel like pretty strongly about. And that quote is like, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. I don't know about you, but it's like a big pet peeve of mine when people talk and talk and talk forever about doing things, but they never actually execute on them. I think you feel the same way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It really, yeah. It really bugs me. It really bugs me.
Me too.
You can talk all you want. That's the easy part. But, if you're going to do something, like, get out there and do it. Like, your actions speak louder than your words. I've just had so many people, like, disappoint me and let me down. And, they just, they talk a good game, but they're never going to actually follow through. And that's kind of a harsh reality as you get older, I guess.
I agree completely. You just have to learn like who those people are. And whenever they talk, my response is like, yeah, that's so great. I will support you 100%. I hope you do that.
And then they never do, but that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
But yeah, I was just thinking like it has been a tough month for both of us, work-wise, but I have gotten so much energy from executing on things that I want to do, like this podcast, for example. Even when I'm super tired, I feel like that's something that really energizes me and keeps me going and motivates me, is like, hey, even though I'm tired, even though it's hard, I am doing the things that I said I wanted to do,
Yeah.
And that's the way I like to live my life. And
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, I personally, and maybe this is a bad thing to say, but whenever I was like at the decision point of, okay, am I going to take the CPA exams, or am I not? I mean, a lot of people are on the fence about it, and you have to be very motivated. And like, honestly, my biggest why is because I knew that my job opportunities would just like skyrocket. I would have so much more income growth potential down the road. And one day I had someone ask me, so you're getting your CPA exam, right? And it was in a career setting, and like without even thinking about it, I was like, yes, absolutely, and like in that moment, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. And then, I'm like, the best way I can follow through with something is tell everyone, because then I have to tell everyone, because then I have to stick with it. And
I agree.
The peer pressure and literally like just wanting to prove people wrong, it's hard, yes, but I'm also hard and I can also do this, is like my biggest motivator for anything I do. So
I agree. That's how I've gotten so many things done in my life. Like, I decided a few years ago that I wanted to get into running. So I told everyone I was going to run a marathon.
Yeah.
And then I did. And now I'm like a runner. And I have been telling every single person I know that I'm starting a podcast. So here we are. We actually have to start a podcast now.
Yep. Same. I've been telling a ton of people about it. And, it's also our weekly time to catch up and spend time together, even though we live in, different cities. And, yeah, I'm so motivated. I had someone, a coworker of my dad's actually, just hearing about like what we're doing and being two women in business, starting a Working Late podcast. Like I've had so many people reach out. They're so excited about it. She was so excited. She even made us stickers.
That's so nice.
I know. And they're really cool. And they have our logo on it. And like just something that maybe started out small to us, people are already like really into it and supportive. And it's just really motivating to continue on going. So.
I agree. With that, do you want to go into our Working Late boosts?
Sure.
Okay, so for the listeners, this is like a little pick-me-up. So, if you are in the middle of a long day, if it's a late night, this is kind of like our songs, productivity hacks, snacks, drinks, ideas, anything that helps us keep going and get motivated and just be ready for the rest of the day. So what do you have?
So right now, this isn't like my official boost, but right now I have decaf coffee because, I'm trying to keep my caffeine limit low because of the pregnancy and whatnot. But my official boost is and even at work, whether it's at work or when I'm working late here at the house, I will pull up YouTube and I'll pull up like a beach wave loop. It's like, 30 hours or something. It has like a lovely beach and it's just playing like wave sounds. And like, whenever I just need to like focus, it just really puts me in the right mindset because I can't have music going because then my mind is singing in my head and stuff. So, the wave beach sounds, they really, really get me locked in. So that's really this week has been that's been the key to my success.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I also I have a couple dogs, and so sometimes I'll put on like dog TV, but I put on the kind that's like nature and it's just like squirrels and birds and all of those things. And I also love to hear that in the background, just like the birds chirping and like the water flowing.
Just calming,
really nice.
Just a calming presence.
Very calming.
Yeah.
So my hack this week is an app. It's called Focus Friend, I think. And Hank Green is the one who created it, if y'all are familiar. But yeah, basically it's an app to help you like get off of your phone, because sometimes I do need to just like shut it off and focus. And so it's dumb, but it's like this little bean. And basically the bean knits socks whenever you get off of your phone. And once it knits a bunch of socks, you can sell them to decorate the bean's room and like the bean's house. And it's dumb, but sometimes it is like, oh, a little dopamine hit from my bean knitted 30 socks because I stayed off my phone for like 30 minutes. And now I can like buy a new window for his room or something like that. So
hey, there's nothing dumb about it. If it gets you off your phone, like that's awesome. So
yeah.
I actually have a second productivity hack, just a bonus one for today. So,
okay.
And I owe this 100% to Greg. So 2 weeks ago, he made my smartphone a dumb phone for me. So he's already done this to his phone, and I haven't been super into it, but I've just been really struggling the past few weeks to get, just focused again and just off my phone. It's been such an easy outlet if I'm stressed or whatever, and like I don't like that to be my default. So he ordered me a brick. I don't know if you've heard about it. But it's like that it's a little gray brick and it's magnetic on the back. So you can stick it on the fridge. You can throw it in your purse. Like you can put it wherever. But it essentially like will lock down your phone. You set it up. So, I have access to music, Audible, all of the essentials, but I don't have access to Netflix, Facebook, Instagram. And he also changed all of my settings. So I don't have a background on my lock screen. Everything is black and white. So like you literally are getting zero dopamine from looking at your phone because there's no pretty colors. There's no, bright notifications or anything prompting you to turn on Netflix. And like I always tried the screen time thing, but I would always hit 15 minutes later or 15 more minutes or whatever. And like, it just, I would do that literally all day. I'm so ashamed. Maybe anyone else, if you're out there in the same boat, let us know so I don't feel as bad.
I hit the ignore limit for today. I don't even give myself 15 more minutes.
Yeah, I guess what is the definition of is it psychotic maybe? Is like doing the same thing, expecting different results. So I guess that was me to a certain extent, just hitting 15 more minutes, literally 20 times a day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the only way to unlock it with the brick is like you have to have the brick with you and you like tap your phone on it and it unlocks it. So, like, I do that at night sometimes, but it's like so helpful during work. Like, if I'm, on a walk or going to the bathroom or just have a few minutes of downtime, like, it pushes me to be productive instead of wasting time. So
yeah, I agree.
I think that's been a real big deal with my motivation the past 2 weeks as well. Okay, so now we'll go into our career confessional segment. This is where we talk about any sort of embarrassing mistakes at work, maybe a weird office dynamic. It could even be a client horror story. So if you have anything to submit for that, please send us an email at workinglate.pod@gmail.com. And Reagan, what's your career confessional for this week?
So I have an intern story. Okay, so I used to work at this job and we had interns like every summer, and that was kind of our pipeline. We liked people to be an intern and then come on full time so we could kind of interview them for like a few months. So yeah, we hired this guy. I'll call him like John because that's a generic name, respectfully.
Yeah, no offense, John's listening to this.
But okay, he interviewed really well. He had a very impressive resume. He went to a good school, and then he showed up for the summer and was just like horrible. So he constantly wanted to leave early. I don't know. And it wasn't the type of environment where that was like acceptable. Like nobody was ever packing up at 5 p.m. It was, everybody kind of worked late there all the time. But it would be like 2, 3 p.m. And as an intern, like you're learning a lot. You don't necessarily have a ton of work to do. But you kind of just
don't leave early.
No, you kind of just act like you have work to do.
Yeah. You stay till 5. You take a full hour lunch, but you stay till 5.
At least 5, yeah. It would be like 3 p.m. all the time. And he's like, hey, can I just like head out? And I'd be like, don't ask me. Like, go ask our boss.
Are you even here?
But like, also, no, you can't. And just a bad fit overall. He was very like frat guy, finance bro, did not give a good look to the frat guys of the world.
So do you think he was the inspiration to your frat guy persona in Reagan Dairy on your TikToks?
Definitely one of them, but I used to work with like 100 frat guys. So
yeah. So it was a collective effort.
Yes.
Nice.
But anyways, what is so confusing about this young man is that he did not receive like a full-time offer. He did not come back after that summer. But obviously, I follow his LinkedIn. He worked in investment banking. He went into investment banking afterwards, and I'm so confused about that because, like, if he was wanting to leave at 2, 3 p.m. at our job in consulting, I do not understand how he possibly thought that like he was going to make it in investment banking. I will say he also has like extremely wealthy parents and maybe they have something to do with that. I don't know. His mom is like a CEO of a company and his dad.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He's also an executive at like the same company. So I don't know. Maybe it's his connections, but I do wish him all the best. I hope he figured it out. I hope he's doing better now. But
Nice. Yeah. I feel like I've worked with like both types of interns. Like I've had some interns that I just absolutely adore. They love to be there. We went to the same college. They just are a go-getter, And then there's some who, like, just show up and they just – maybe they're good, maybe they're smart, but they just don't really care that much. They don't – maybe they want to be there. Maybe they're just, I don't know. So I'm definitely able to connect better with the go-getters and the ones that seem – at least pretend happy to be there,
Yeah, it's okay if you get into an internship and you realize that it's not for you and
That's
you
what
don't
it's there for.
Want to come back. Yeah, for sure. But like, you don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to make yourself look bad. You never know who you're gonna need to contact in the future. What's gonna come up.
Yep. You never know what's gonna happen. So it's best to just put forth your best and just get through it if it's not a good fit. So
yeah. Are we ready to move on to our hot takes?
Yeah. Why don't we? I think this will get a lot of really good feedback from the listeners. Maybe they'll have some opinions on it.
Yes, I do have a hot take to present today. And I will say, this is inspired by another coworker this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're giving us all the tea this week.
I'm so sorry. Okay. My hot take is that work-life balance is a good thing. But it doesn't need to be a daily thing or even like a weekly thing or monthly thing. I think it can be a seasonal thing, and that's fine. I think it's perfectly okay if your job expects you to work really hard for a season and then, you know, you don't have to work as hard for a season. I don't think you should always expect to be able to get off at 5 p.m. or anything like that. I don't think that's going to do the best things for your career moving forward, rather. What do you think?
I'm totally with you. I have some people who, you know, in my life who they're like, I want to be off at 5. I want to have an hour lunch, and they're adamant about that. And anything less than that, they're not interested. And that's totally fine, but that's just not a good personality fit for me. You know, I thrive in tax season. Like, yes, towards the end, I'm crying. You know, occasionally I'm tired. I'm a little stressed, but that's whenever I get the best performance out of myself. And then, you know, during the summer, I get to chill and not work as many hours. And, you know, during the holiday seasons, like we kind of get a few more days off and we get to close early and, you know, things like that. And like, I do better that way. You know, I need a good season to push and put forth my best and the most effort I absolutely can, and then chill and take a break and kind of have those big swings. I think it kind of fits my personality better.
Okay. Yeah, I think, look, if you're the type of person you want the type of structure where you get the hour lunch and you get off at 5 every day, like, I don't care. I don't have any beef with that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. To each his own.
Yeah, I just think, like, there are certain jobs that you can have that works with.
Yep.
Maybe you should avoid other types of jobs. And if you're in a career path where that's not really the norm, making that expectation is only going to disappoint you. And also, if you go into it and you're like kind of adamant about that, like I have coworkers who are, I just feel like that does them more harm than good, because they're building these barriers like, no, I absolutely will not do anything past 5 p.m. And it's like, well, I just don't think that's going to help you advance your career, you know?
If that's what you want. Some people
That's
are
true.
happy.
That's true.
Some people are happy in the position that they're in, and we need
I
those
do
people.
agree.
Society needs those people, and that's great.
agree.
But I think for both of us, I think that we are, you know, wanting to take our career as far as possible and always be taking it to the next level. And not that that's better or worse or anything, but I think it's who we are personally, and you know, all the better.
Do you receive a lot of judgment about that? Because I do.
Oh yeah.
Like, mostly online. I post videos, you know, day in the life, what I'm doing. And a lot of the time, like, I don't take a lunch or I don't log off at 5. I have people all the time who are like, oh, why would you ever work past 5 p.m.? And I think it's just a disconnect. Like, I think we just don't have the same mindset about work and what we want out of our careers and out of life. And that's okay. But
that's totally fine. But I'm with you 100%. I receive judgment constantly, and like maybe it's less judgment, more pity, because they don't understand. But like I know that this is like the best fit for me, and you know, plus being a business owner, I'm literally making more money during tax season by working late. I mean, it's a direct reflection, and I'm fine with that, because that's the kind of lifestyle that I want, and it's going to support my other goals, and you know, being able to travel or have certain things, and that's fine. But yeah, during tax season, you know, on my way going home, like I usually use that time to call friends or family or whatever, and like. You know, during tax season, sometimes I'll leave at 6 or 6:30. Every tax season's different, so it just depends. But, you know, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I just got off, headed home. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, that sucks. Oh, you poor thing. Like, and I'm like, you know, I chose my career. I'm a big girl. I know, you know, that this is the consequences of my actions, but it's not like in a bad light either. Like, I love my job. I genuinely like love what I do so much. Like, you don't have to apologize. Like, this is just my normal, you know? So, I don't know if you kind of have that or not, but.
Yeah, no, let us know what y'all think. I feel like a large part of our audience probably agrees with us that I think a large part of our audience is probably pretty ambitious. I mean, it is called the Working Late podcast.
Yeah.
So the people who do feel like logging off at 5-hour-long lunch, rigidity, I don't know. I don't know if they're still listening, but
they may have already turned us off. But if you are still listening and you are there, I want to know, like, what do you do with your time? You know, what do you do with your time? What do you do with all your time? I'm so curious. Like, do you have like strict hobbies that you are very like avid about and very passionate about, or like do you just go home and watch TV? That's what I want to know. Because I feel like too much time, like unless I have certain things I'm working on and home projects and like travel and things like that, like. Too much time isn't always the best thing.
I don't, again, I don't know if this is a good thing about me, but I do feel horrible about myself if I'm not being productive all of the time.
Greg's that
And
way.
yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, but that is how I feel. So,
It is what it is. I think that we are able to produce more and like max out more of our potential that way. So,
yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
yeah.
Okay, listener corner. So for our listener corner, you can email us your submissions. So these are things from listeners who are literally like working late, or you just have a long day and you want advice, or you need a pep talk or anything like that. So you can email us at workinglate.pod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram or TikTok, which is workinglate_pod. So we do have one submission this week from one of our friends. Jordan, do you want to read it?
Yeah, for sure. So this is from Kelsey. She says, I have built a reputation as the dependable one, the person who fixes things, stays late, and picks up slack. The problem is, now that's all I'm known for. I don't get the exciting projects or growth opportunities because I'm too valuable where I am. I created this image and now I feel stuck in it. How do you change how people see you without burning bridges? So I personally feel like I can relate to this. Do you feel like you have anything that we could advise her on here?
I will say, like, I do think that sometimes I say yes to too many things. And maybe I don't put in boundaries where I should occasionally. Mm-hmm. So I can kind of understand it to an extent, but I'm not really sure. What do you think?
So I personally have been in this situation. I think it's very relatable. So whenever our firm, so this is before I branched out and started my own part of the practice, and we were much smaller. There was maybe like, I don't know, 8 to 10 of us in the office. We had an IT guy, and he was a one-man show, not responsive. Like you couldn't usually get help very quickly, and like I had a professor in college for like our systems management class and all of that, and she said if you're the person waiting on IT, you are wasting time and you're less valuable than the person next to you who's willing to troubleshoot and figure it out.
Okay.
So that really like stuck with me for whatever reason. And so I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be able to troubleshoot, and like, you know, before I reach out to IT, I've like tried several things, and I can like tell them ahead of time, like, hey, I've already done X, Y, and Z. I've rolled out these problems. What do you think my next steps are? Mm-hmm. And it does make the IT like whole process much better and seamless anyways. But going back to that, this IT guy was just non-existent, to be completely honest. Like he would show up maybe once a month. Like it was an issue. So I became the IT professional. I was the youngest person in the office at the time. And anytime anyone had issues with their laptop working from home setup, their mouse not working, like anything like that, I was always the go-to. And I'm like, I don't mind, but I went to school to do taxes and be an accountant, and that's what I love. I don't want to be the IT person. I really don't. And like it became a problem. And so I ended up having to talk to my partners and tell them like, hey, this has become a big deal. Like it takes up a lot of my time. You know, if you could help me start directing people to the IT guy. But again, it just highlighted the fact that he was not super present and available. And so shortly after, we actually switched to a whole IT company, and we had a whole team of people to start helping us. So I definitely think that you're not going to burn a bridge, Kelsey, by reaching out to your higher ups and telling them like, hey, this is kind of where I'm at. It's taking a lot of my time, but this is where I see myself going. And it's not really in the direction that I'm headed right now. So I think they would appreciate that honesty. And like, yes, it's your career. Yes, they are your bosses, but like you have a say too. So I would definitely speak up for yourself.
Yeah, I think when it comes to addressing difficult things with your boss or your managers, it's important to keep it positive and not go in there like you're complaining. I think that'll get you like much better results. If you go into a meeting and you're just complaining like, hey, I'm unhappy, nothing's going my way, that's not usually received very well. And usually that is going to frame you as a person who, you know, is kind of ungrateful or like not that fun to work with. They're negative. So
or unwilling to deal with the things that aren't as glamorous.
Exactly. Know? So I think if you go in there and you frame it as like, hey, I'm really ambitious and I want to do more here and I want to like contribute more, make your lives easier. But right now, like, I just don't see that happening. How can we work together to make sure that I am fulfilling my ambitious career goals? I think that'll get you so much further than just going in there and complaining like, I don't like the work that I'm doing. Can you change it? You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
And also, if you go into, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you go into meetings like that and you already have solutions, like potential solutions ready to go, like, here are the things I've thought of that I can do, that maybe we can change this a little bit. How can we implement these things? Or do you have other ideas? I think that'll also get you like way further and get you much better results.
Totally agree. And also I think that like going in there and asking like, hey, this is where I want to be. This is where I'm currently at. What are the actionable steps that I can be taking to get to my end goal, or at least to the next step in my, career plans for my life, like you're there working for them. Yes. But you have a say in what goes on. You literally have a choice to be there and a choice as to what you're doing. So I think as long as you approach it, like, fairly, and like Reagan already said, not complaining, I think you'll probably get some good results and good feedback.
Yeah, I agree. So Kelsey, good luck. Let us know what you do. Let us know what happens. But I think that's all we have time for today. So thank you guys for listening. Remember to keep going because the work you're doing will pay off. Anything else, Jordan?
I don't think so. Y'all just keep grinding and keep going. We're here for you. If you need anything, shoot us an email. We're happy to talk about it on the pod and give you any advice that we have.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.